content of this channel is for mature audiences. Parental discretion is advised. You're tuned in to the Green Gorilla channel. Please make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell notification button. And please, feel free to share the video. Thank you.
What's good, everybody? I'm the G with a PhD, and you're tuned in to the Green Gorilla channel. It's the place where black men can express themselves freely, straight up with no chases. Before I begin, I want to give a shout out to all the members of the Green Gorilla channel. Shout goes out to 7Q Pitt, Kwaku Asasi, Super Tech, Liz Terrell, Rogish the Billmonger, Michael Ross, and Gregory Oliver. Shouts go out to Darkside Excellence, Greg, Rais Moaji, Dornell Smith, Antonio Feria, Papa Didas, Barry Little, Alan Wiley, and Mr. Valentino. Shouts go out to Jason Hales, Black Men Being Brutally Honest, 77 Base X, Craig, Omni Americana, Cameron 87, Deshaun Nolly, Brian Peaks, and Nelso. Shouts go out to Apex Prowler, Kareem Henry, Doc LaRock, Julius Ferguson, B. Hillfire, Jay Charles, and Mark Hope. Shouts go out to Lee Ways, Jeffrey Speed, The Face, Mark Swift, Show Me, Black Dog, Odd Collard, and Raphael Brown. Shouts go out to Deanne, Donna Watts, Cozy Corner, hiphop.catv, Coach DC, and The Remedy. Shouts go out to Kashif Caldwell, Ominous Black, I Am Black Man, Nichita, True King 337, and Mr. Blue Collar. Shouts go out to Barnolas, Kyle J. Sura, I'm Just Jules, Ab Media 83, Brian McMurray, and TD Hip Hop Media. Shouts go out to Drew Main, Artist and MC, Mr. Heat, Afro Analyst, Issa Abdul Zahir, and Sir Anthony. Blessings to MLR, Charles Rogers, Universal 178, Black Swerve 404, Rashid Barnes, and Aaron Smith. Shouts go out to DH, C-Truth the Revelator, Gold Professor, Arthur Unknown, Dr. Tiasan Johnson, and Kalan Jakala. Shouts out to Ricky Dawson, Cedric Bowman, True 7360, BK Moore Shaheed, and James Washington. Shouts go out to Hostile Adept, Seven Coast Dojo, W. Pierre 1, BGS Ibmore, and Marvin Battle Jr. I can't forget my brother in heaven, Forrest Windu. And on the Patreon side, I'd like to give a shout out to Dornell Smith, Chris York, Excalibur, Jason Warren, Soul Pen, Anu 219, Pursuer Prisoner, Taz, Kwaku 217, and S. Haywood, Dragon 59, Supreme Ibmore, Adrian Hicks, Jay Bailey, Mr. Michi Momal, and Asangwa. Shouts go out to y'all, man. Appreciate all your help and support. You deserve a round of applause. Appreciate you. And if you're inquiring about how you can become a member of the Green Gorilla channel, well, here's how you do it.
What's good, everybody? I'm the G with a PhD, and you're tuned in to the Green Gorilla channel, the place where black men can express themselves freely, straight up, no chaser. Today, I want to introduce you to my new membership program that consists of 5 levels where you can invest in the Green Gorilla channel on a monthly basis and receive level-specific perks. Memberships are special because they improve the quality of the content of the channel and will help me to be able to keep the channel going. Now, to participate in the Green Gorilla channel membership program, all you have to do is hit the join button, which is located right next to the subscribe button on my channel page. Now, for all of my subscribers who decide not to participate in my membership program, nothing will change. The content will keep coming the way it always has. Thanks for watching, and be careful out here, people. Bless.
All right, now we back. You know who I be. I'm the G with a PhD. You're tuned in to the Green Gorilla channel. This is the place where black men can talk about what they want to, and they don't have to be worried about or afraid about being sanctioned for, speaking what's on their mind. But today I want to talk about a topic, it's not gonna, I know it's not gonna generate a lot of views or, generate a lot of likes It's not something that's filled with drama. And, it's not something you can get your popcorn and watch and then be satisfied because, you just got through seeing some drama take place. It ain't about that, but it's about something that's as serious as a heart attack or cancer or a stroke or dying young. It's about your health. And, black men don't go see the doctor, man. We don't do it. Now, the question is, why don't we do it? Why do we, hold off going to see the doctor? Right now, I know for a damn fact I probably need to go see the doctor. I ain't seen the doctor in a long time. But, I keep putting things off and off and off and off. And right now, to be quite honest, I have a toothache. It's been bothering and nagging me for quite a bit of time, but I've been like, okay, I can hold it off. There's no need for me to go get it right now. It's not life-threatening, so therefore I can hold off. I mean, it's been irritating, and I've been managing it with, Tylenol. But, I mean, the question is, why haven't I taken my behind to the dentist's office and to actually handle this the way it should be handled? Why? Why did my father have a stroke and all the signs that indicated that he had one? Why did he ignore them? My father had like maybe about 2 or 3 mini strokes and still didn't go to the hospital at all. Just refused. Like, I'm okay. I'm all right. I don't need to go. Real talk. That's what he told me now. I don't need to go. I know I'm experiencing a little bit of discomfort, but I don't need to go. Don't try to force me to go. My stepfather, man. I noticed that there was a change in his behavior because, he would get out. He was always in the streets. Always. My stepfather he had a routine. He would do junk collecting. He would go collect cans. This man had, like big money, man. Big bank. But he always used to be thrifty and always wanted to find another way to make another dollar and to keep himself in shape. So he would get out of the house every morning and go walk the neighborhood to see who had thrown, aluminum cans around. He'd go collect the shit. That's what he did. So he stopped doing that. And he was just laying in the bed over and over and over again. He would just lay in the bed, lay in the bed, lay in the bed. And I'm thinking to myself, why is this dude laying in the bed? This is not like him. And then, I started to see yellow in his eyes. So it seemed like he had some sort of jaundiced look. Anyway, man, I basically forced the man to go to the hospital. He was refusing. I mean, literally refusing to go to the hospital. Didn't want to go. Low key, he was mad. I said, look here, bruh. We ain't got to take the ambulance. You ain't got to be embarrassed about that. But one thing I do know is you about to get in this goddamn car right now and you about to go to the hospital. Come back, man. The dude had pancreatic cancer, man. And it was in the 4th stage. There was no way for it to be treated. And the man had health insurance. I mean, he was in the military. Both my stepfather and my father were in the military. I mean, they had the wherewithal to take care of themselves. It wasn't a money issue. They had the insurance. But they just didn't go to the damn hospital. They wouldn't go to the doctor and get regular checkups. And these were older men. I mean, men over their 70s, yo. What prevented them from going to see the doctor? And I know y'all have stories that are similar to this. You have to have stories that are similar to this. If you have stories that are similar to this, put a 1 in the chat. This, again, I know this show here is not going to generate a lot of likes. I know this show right here is not going to generate a lot of traffic because it ain't got nothing to do with drama and a whole bunch of fuckery and bullshit. It's got to do with reality. It's got to do with life or death. When it comes to life and death, we'll play that off. We'll shuck that off. When it comes time to, have a little fun and poke and jab at different people and shit, we love that. But you don't want that doctor to poke and check on your ass to find out if you got prostate cancer or if you just had a stroke or some other kind of condition. You don't want to do that. You don't want to go to the dentist and find out, if there's something wrong with your teeth. You might have to have, your teeth drilled. Or you might have to have a root canal or some other procedure. You ain't ready to do that. But the question is, why don't we go see the doctor? And, I think that there is a reason. I'm going to read a little article. And, there's a study. There have been several studies on this, but I think we all know that the reason that black men don't go see the doctor, okay? So let me just show you the article. It's not very long, and I'm not going to spend all day on this. But I am going to show you this article, after which, I'll open up the floor if guys want to talk about this. If you don't, that's fine. I could have gone and, hollered at one of my friends that that have an MD. I didn't. But why would I? I mean, we need to be having this conversation with one another. What is our problem with the doctor? What is it? Anyway, man, let me get right to this, man, so I can get this over with and done. So, this is a very old article, right? But there was a study that was done. Let me expand this a little bit. The study, and this was, put out by Health Day News, and there was a study that examines reasons some black men avoid doctors, because we avoid the doctor. This is just the reality of the situation, man. And physicians reportedly don't provide practical advice on how to make needed lifestyle changes. That's what some black men say. Or the study says, right? Many black men may not visit their doctor because they find the interaction stressful and don't feel physicians give them enough useful information on how to make recommended lifestyle changes. So these findings stem from a series of focus groups with black American men regarding their medical practitioners. What's the result? Well, the doctors are viewed as coming up short when it comes to advice on how to make healthy changes in behavior, such as eating better, exercising more, or losing weight without sacrificing time with loved ones. So when black men go to the doctor, it's usually because they have to get test results or because a family member has urged them to pay a visit. The study team found, and even then, the men reported not liking the tone that doctors take with them. And this is funny, though, because, sometimes doctors, they have this very condescending attitude towards the people that they're supposed to actually be caring for. And I understand that you have to be, somewhat neutral and impartial and objective so that the care that you give, is not, marred by you, having some sort of personal relationship with the patient. But damn, I mean, you don't have to be so impersonal to the point where you're rude. But a lot of times black men are treated rudely, very rudely, harshly by healthcare practitioners, man. This is just the reality, okay? I mean, one time I was, talked to in a condescending tone by a healthcare professional, man. I backed up and I told him, I said, hey, look, man, you ain't the only motherfucker with an advanced degree, bruh. He looked back like, whoa. I said, no, bruh. You are not the only mother. And I told him in those exact words, you're not the only person with a fucking advanced degree, man. When you talk to me like you're talking to someone who's actually sitting here making a choice and a decision about his own healthcare. Don't be paternalistic with me. Tell me what the facts are, what my options are. And speak to me like, I'm in the driver's seat here. I know you are the expert as it pertains to my health, but come on, man, a mechanic wouldn't talk to me like that. But you're going to sit here and talk to me in a condescending tone. I was really upset with this guy, you know? But anyway, many said they already know they need to make lifestyle changes, but physicians did not seem to realize that these changes involved difficult trade-offs. That's usually not the story that's told. Lead author Derek Griffith, an assistant professor at the University of Michigan's School of Public Health, said in the university news release, too much emphasis is on the things that African American men don't do rather than exploring why they don't do them. In reality, he said, many men want to adopt healthier lifestyles, but face significant challenges beyond health insurance and the cost of care. They are concerned about their health and are more knowledgeable about the changes they need to make than they are often given credit for. So Griffith and his colleagues gleaned their observations from 14 focus groups held at the University of Michigan campus that involved 105 middle-aged black men. So much of the impetus for the work, the authors noted, comes from the fact that while black men die 7 years earlier on average, I mean, this is important, man. You die, if you're black, 7 years earlier on average than men of other ethnicities in the United States. And they are also more likely to suffer from undiagnosed chronic health problems. Things that are actually preventable. And then we got somebody here, man, that don't like, if you watching the video, man, hit the like button. We got some fucktard that, and I'm going off on somebody, man, who would even give a dislike to black men not going to the doctor, man. Fuck you. That's what I want to say to whoever gave that, the dislike about men and going to the doctor. Motherfuck you. I just had to say that, man. Motherfuck you. If you feel like this is a laughing matter, man, fuck you. I hate to say that, man. I hate to put that out there, but come on, man. We're talking about life and death and why black men don't go to the doctor, man. I'm just saying, man. Ian Gray said that was him on accident, man. I'm like, hold on, man. Don't you dare end your life. We talking about black men's lives. So you get a pause. You get a break for that. Anyway, man, the group discussions revealed that black men feel that they can come to their doctor already armed with knowledge that they have to make the dietary changes, lose weight, and take up more physical activity. What the majority said they rarely get is meaningful assistance, doing all the above without having to give up those activities that are most important to them, such as spending time with their spouses and children. The findings suggest that doctors need to offer practical advice to their black male patients to help them alter their lifestyles while still placing value on the time they spend with their families and communities, the study authors noted. So at any rate, man, look, black men feel like for the most part, they are talked down to when they go to the doctor. And that's one of the reasons why black men don't go to the doctor. And they're not given help. And they're not given advice as if they're cared for, as if people actually want them to live. Because to be perfectly honest, man, people in this culture don't want us to live. They don't give a damn about us living long. I saw some woman, man, on a thread, man, I kid you not, man, on Dr. Tia Son Johnson's page, man. And the guy, well, it wasn't a guy, it was a woman. They basically put a post, and this was the effect of it. I mean, or the gist of it. I miss black men, working and dying 30 years earlier than the woman so she can get the pension and the house and all this kind of shit. Like, that was something to lionize. Like, that's why Big Mama has the house and everybody's centered around her and everybody focuses on her. But the man worked himself to death and died and left her with all the benefits, and now everybody just discards and forgets about him. So men sacrificing themselves, their own health, their own level of well-being, and women are like, I miss those days. come on, man, we want to live too. We desire to live as well. But it seems like nobody cares about our lives. Anyway, I thought that was really morose. I thought that was really, just really, man, that's really cruel, man. That's harsh, man. That somebody would want to come up off your death. But that's just where black men today find themselves. And I know sometimes I get harsh, man, but today is one of them days, man. It's just one of them days. But anyway, how can we begin to remedy this issue or this problem, right? Well, one of the ways we can begin to remedy the issue or the problem is by actually going to black doctors. That's one of the ways. So having a black doctor led black men to receive more effective care. And this is the last thing I'm going to read, okay? I'm going to blow this up a little bit. So if you got a black doctor, black men think that they're, for the most part, are going to receive better health care. Okay? And so it's not very long either, okay? So the article is written by a woman by the name of Nicole Torres. And the publication is the Harvard Business Review, okay? So the article says in the U.S., racial and ethnic minorities have higher rates of chronic disease, obesity, and premature death than white people. Black patients in particular have among the worst health outcomes, experiencing higher rates of hypertension and stroke. And black men have the lowest life expectancy of any demographic group, living on average 4.5 fewer years than white men. Okay, a number of factors contribute to these health disparities, but one problem has been a lack of diversity among physicians. So whereas Africans make up about 13% of the U.S. population, only 4% of U.S. doctors and less than 7% of U.S. medical students. Okay, so of active U.S. doctors in 2013, 48, damn near half of them were white. 12% were Asian, 4% were Hispanic or Latinx, and 0.4% were American Indian or Alaska Native. Okay? So researchers found that physicians of color are more likely to treat minority patients and practice in underserved communities. And it has been argued that sharing a racial or cultural background with one's doctor helps promote communication and trust. So there's a Niebuhr study, and I can click on this. I'm not going to look at it, but National Bureau of Economic Research paper on this issue. Okay, does diversity matter for health? Experimental evidence from Oakland. So I'm not going to explore that right now, but just know that it exists. Okay. So anyway, so this new study looks at how changing this ratio might improve health outcomes and save lives. So researchers set up an experiment that randomly assigned black male patients to black or non-black male doctors to see whether having a doctor of their race affected patients' decisions about preventative care. They found that black men seen by black doctors agreed to more and more invasive preventive services than those seen by non-black doctors. And this effect seemed to be driven by better communication and more trust. So we're talking about black male patients to black or non-black male doctors. We're male doctors, black male doctors. Because even if the doctor is black, and if the doctor is black and female, I still don't think black men are going to trust receiving care to the same extent as they would another black male doctor. I just don't see it, but that's just my opinion, okay? Anyway, increasing demand for preventive care could go a long way toward improving health, A substantial part of the difference in life expectancy between white and black men is due to chronic diseases that are amenable to prevention. By encouraging more preventative screenings, the researchers calculate a workforce with more black doctors could help reduce cardiovascular mortality by 16 deaths per 100,000 per year, resulting in a 19% reduction in the black-white male gap in cardiovascular mortality and an 8% decline in the black-white male life expectancy gap. So again, there's this, I can go further and further into this. But the issue is that there aren't enough black male doctors to go around. So this in and of itself, I'm going to read all of this, man. I'm going to go back to my main screen. So we got some people in the, in the chat. So Rasheed Bourne says he'll admit to being biased against young doctors. So I'm going to leave an invite in the, I'm going to leave an invite in the chat if anybody wants to, have a discussion about this. But I don't think a young doctor would steer me off. But as long as that young doctor had the advice and the tutelage of somebody older, then I perhaps would listen and have a conversation with the older doctor. But I always want to get more than one opinion from doctors anyway, just to be, sure. Is this the best course of treatment for me in this regard? And I would suggest that anybody, that has to have a procedure or something like that, do the same. Just don't get one opinion, get multiple opinions, But, in some cities, man, it's difficult to come across black doctors. And it's even more difficult to come across black male doctors. I mean, when you go to the hospital, man, a lot of times, man, what you see are a lot of white folks and a lot of Asian folks. And not to take away from these people, man, not to be biased against them, but sometimes you need people who have a cultural familiarity with you so that, you can feel confident and comfortable talking about, your health problems with this, with the individual, man, who's supposed to be providing treatment for you. And it's unfortunate that we don't have enough people in position to do that. Thank you, Charles Rich, for your donation. Appreciate that, sir. And also thank you, Presidential Mike, who says he's never been able to catch me live. He's been watching old videos. Great channel and discussion. Keep up the good work. Thank you so much, man. Presidential Mike, appreciate your help. All that support, man, does a lot, man, and it helps me to keep the channel going. Rasheed Bourne also has made a statement. I think the anxiety from deferred maintenance, maybe due to lack of adequate insurance, can play a part. I think that's exactly part of the issue. A lot of black men are not in a financial position to take care of their health the way that they should be able to take care of their health. And so sometimes it's a matter of, okay, do I pay my phone bill or do I take care of my health? Do I pay my car note or do I take care of my health? Do I make sure that my daughter, gets the appropriate tuition money or do I take care of my health? Now, if you're juggling these kind of things, that's unfortunate that, in some societies, you don't have to do this with your health. But in this society, you actually do have to, assess and weigh whether or not you're going to actually invest in your health, which to me is absolutely ridiculous in the developed world. But, that's how it is. My brother Herb Saint, man, what's going on in the NOLA, baby?
What's up, PhD?
What's happening with you, dog? You good?
I'm good, brother. This is a good discussion, man.
I thought so, man. But a lot of us, man, get caught into that booty chatter. That's what I call it, man. We want to talk about a lot of booty shit, Not that sometimes it's called for, Sometimes that's called for. I get it. But sometimes we got to get serious, man. Sober up and talk about life or death issues, man. And you know, dealing with women, man, ain't a life and death issue, bro. I'm keeping it one. It is to some extent, but not for real, man. You know,
Right,
we talking
man.
about
That's
life and
real
death,
stuff.
man.
Yeah,
You
all
know?
day, man. This is real stuff, man. I'm lucky to have my dad, man. He's still alive. He's in his late 60s, and he switched doctors about 4 years ago. And I said, "Why you switch doctors, Dad?" He said, "Well, he said, man, the doctor wouldn't touch me." I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "Well, when I would go, he said the guy was nice. He went through the pleasantries of a doctor. He did what he was supposed to do, but he said he never touched me." I
Oh
said,
wow.
I said, yeah. I said, yeah. I said, man, you got to find another doctor. So he found a black doctor, and he loved this guy, man. He does everything. He checks on my dad, made sure he got all his vaccinations and whatnot. I mean, and then he got my mom. My mom switched doctors too, because my mom, come to find out, had the same issue with her doctor. So you own it, man. You own it with this topic, because the thing is, it's only going to get worse because there's a doctor shortage, and there aren't Black American doctors out there like talking about it. I work in pre-hospital medicine, so I work on the ambulances, dude, and I see it all day in day out. It's,
Oh
it's
wow, you work on an
it's a shortage.
ambulance, brother?
Yeah,
Man,
man.
you an
Yeah,
EMT, huh? Man.
yeah. Paramedic, man. So I know what you're talking about, the disparity in treatment, and that's why I got into the line of work. And when I see it more. So, I know what you're talking about is real, man. It's real. You know, when it comes to black people, they like to over medicate us when we're acting up. And then if you're conscious but you're complaining of pain, they're going to dictate how much pain you get. I want to tell brothers, if you're ever in a situation where you feel like you're in pain and you need medicine, it's your body. They can't tell you what to do. You have authority over your body. Just because you're in a ambulance or in a hospital cot, you have authority over your body. You tell them, look, I'm in pain. Give me this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
And I know a lot of black men, they like to they crowd you and they overpower you with their medical talks and so on and so forth. But you have the right to be explained in plain terms what's happening to you and what you're giving to me. You have rights. And quite a few number of times I've explained to some brothers, hey man, you don't have to stay here. Or hey, you can leave. If you want to leave, leave. Or,
Yeah,
I suggest you don't leave. Hey, look what they're trying to do. They're trying to, it's almost like I'm translating, bro. It's
right.
crazy.
But you know, that's unfortunate because, you know, you have to have a rapport with people. And black folks want to, you know, especially black men, they want to actually feel as if they're cared about. Like, especially if they're in the hospital and it's over a matter of life and death, they want to feel like their lives are actually valuable. That
Oh,
somebody cares
definitely.
whether they live or die. And it seems like in this culture, black men are very aware, whether either consciously or subconsciously, you know, up implicitly or explicitly, they understand that this society, they really don't care whether they live or die.
It's
And
true,
that's
man.
unfortunate. That's unfortunate, man. That, you know, like when you go to the doctor, nobody cares whether you live or die. Nobody cares whether you're in pain or you're not in pain. Nobody cares whether or not you understand your rights as a patient. Nobody cares about whether or not, you know, you see another day. And it's unfortunate, man, that, you know, the black men got to go through this when they see the doctor. It's even worse at the VA when it comes to black men, you know. But some black men get real good treatment at the VA, though. I think they've started to improve the quality of the services that they give to some of their patients. But man, look, my stepfather, man, went to the VA, man, and he died in the VA's care, man. You know, it just is what it is. You
Wow.
know,
Sorry for your loss, brother.
yeah, my stepfather, man. But he was you know, damn near 80 years old when he died, and my father's 80 now. He ain't, man, that dude, man, dude like a Timex, you know what I'm saying? He take a licking and keep on ticking, bruh. You know,
What
that's
wars
just
did they serve?
well, my father did Vietnam, and you know, my stepfather did the same thing, you know. Yeah,
Okay.
they both did Vietnam, man. You know,
My mom worked for the VA, man, so she would always tell me. She said those VA vets. She said that's. She said they've been through a lot, you know. And I used to see them sitting in the lobby waiting to go. You know, I would go catch the school bus over to my mom's job till she got off, and I got to meet a lot of vets, man. Yeah, you're right. The treatment has gotten a little, but they had a time where they weren't doing too good by the vets, man.
yeah, I know, man. They weren't, and because you know, I lived in St. Louis for quite a bit of time, but I did spend time in New Orleans, as you know.
Yeah,
But you know, there was a VA hospital on Grand and yeah, Grand and close to Lindell. It's close or Delmar or whatever the case may be. It's a VA hospital, and if you walk into that place, man, it just looks substandard. You know just the infrastructure of the hospital was terrible, and you know, it hadn't been updated. And you know, my mother worked at a hospital as a social worker, so you know, the hospitals always look like they've been modernized. The infrastructure is kept up, but you didn't see that in the VA, man. And it's like, hold on, wait a minute. These are people who've risked their lives
right.
for this country. So why are they getting why are they getting less than the average citizen? Well, you know, that's because it's publicly subsidized as opposed to, you know, privately, you know, funded care. But I don't know, man. All I know is it's black men that can't get no respect, even when they trying to, you know, get some health care, man. It's unfortunate, bro. You know.
Yeah, man, it's real. I mean, this an on time topic, man. Especially with COVID and whatnot. You know, I just seen an article today say COVID could be linked to creating diabetes in you, man. I mean, come on, man. This thing,
Really?
look, yeah, man. I just saw it. It's like, man, can this thing get any worse, dude? It's like, you know. So, and you know, this is going to directly affect brothers. It's going to happen. You know. So,
Yeah, we die the earliest. But I mean, there's a reason. So one can make the case. Then how can we increase or improve the numbers of black folks that go into medicine, and in particular black men? But see, the issue is, I mean, for crying out loud, man, you know, it's unfortunate, bro, but man, we can't even read, bro. If we can't read, how can we become doctors, dog?
facts, facts,
You
man.
know, you know, if we can't, you know, add, subtract, and multiply and divide, how can we become doctors, man?
And GG, I know you have the knowledge, but we have a history of shaman as healers. We
Yeah,
have
yeah,
that
man.
in us. We have that in us, man. You know, I just hate that we get away from a lot of our innate characteristics of cleanliness, of healers, protectors. That's who we are at our
Right,
core, man. You know, but you're right. If you can't read, you can't. I mean, come on.
right.
We got to
Yeah,
start somewhere.
yeah. If you can't, you know, if you can't read, then you're definitely not going to be able to do chemistry the way it needs to be done, because you're gonna have to have some knowledge of chemistry in order to be able to, you know, practice medicine. You're gonna have to know biology. You're gonna have to know Latin terms and the whole nine when you know, you practice medicine. So it's unfortunate, man. I mean, but once you get through the grid, it becomes easier and easier. So, but you know, I don't know, man. A lot of us, man, don't go into these fields, man. It's these you know, disciplines are like the you know, the curve is high, man. The bar is set pretty high, man. It's like, you know, it's almost prohibitive, you know, for us to be you know, engaged into these practices, man. These, you know, these professions, and so, but we need them
Yeah,
though.
man.
But we need them, because if we don't have them, we don't have health, because we refuse to go to other people. So here is an example of why affirmative action, it actually is needed and necessary in some instances. right? So one could argue that the medical profession needs to make, in medical schools and college curriculum programs, they need to make a concerted effort to ensure that there are black male and female doctors for women, but there are black doctors, because there aren't enough of us in the field, and black people as a whole, as a population, don't do as well because they don't go to the doctor and they don't trust the doctors if they're not black. So here's the case in where, I think affirmative action actually works to the benefit and is not really unjust at all, And, as Shonda says, the real father of medicine, Imhotep, was African, so we have the ability innately in us. It's just, it just has to be inspired, nurtured, and supported in our black men. You're right. Yeah, you're right, Shonda. Appreciate that. I've been seeing you in the chat lately. So thank you for that info. If anybody else, so how long you been doing EMT work, bro? Irv Saint,
Man,
I know you
I'm in the 19 years. I'm cooking a little bit, man.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
But yeah, man, 19 years, bro. So I've been inside of medical response. I've seen a lot of disparity in care. I've seen our people, um, catching the raw end of everything, man. End of life. There's people that you see towards the end of life, man, and they're going out alone.
Yeah.
They're going out alone. They're going out sick. I'm not trying to make it seem like it's all right.
But you know what though? It's unfortunate, man, that a lot of black men do die alone, man. In a nursing home or in an old, what we used to call them, old folks home. They die alone, man, or even they die alone in their own apartments, man. My uncle, was like 74 years old, man. He died alone. He's not from New Orleans, but he died in New Orleans, man, alone, by himself. Nobody, man, should die alone. But I mean, a lot of Americans are dying alone, man. But a lot of black men are dying alone.
Definitely. A lot of men. And I saw a study that showed that men who are married tend to live longer, even if they're African American. So if black men aren't getting married at the rates that Kev Samuels and all these numbers that people throw out, if it's, what is it, 50% of black men not married, or not married and childless.
Yeah.
So
man.
I mean, in that range. So I mean, you're looking at, with the stresses and of everyday society, which they say affects us in a different way. We really need. That's why I think Dr. T. Hassan, you, and all of these studies are so important, because we're forgotten, man. We're just forgotten. It's like nobody gives a shit. And I think that your documentary, you were on the right path, brother. And I hope you don't give up on it, because I have a son.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
I haven't given up on it, but it's just I gotta. My whole idea about it is this. I have to wait until more people know who I am, and it's a slow grind on YouTube. And then a lot of people are distrustful, and people are jockeying and competing for attention and followers and subscribers. And they perceive this more as entertainment than they do as an opportunity to engage in activism and political action. And as far as I'm concerned, this is not entertainment for me. I'm trying to provide information, and I'm also trying to provide a service. But I can't serve those people who don't even perceive that what you're doing is a service anyway. It's just difficult, man, because it's just difficult, bro. The media Mike Speaks, he says, I think that study was debunked, and it was debunked by a female. I'm not quite sure which study it is that you're making mention of. But please let us know, man. And feel free, if you want to get on to the show and to have a discussion about it. But yeah, all I know
But
is, man.
whether the study's true or not, we know in our own families who's getting married, who's not. I mean, come on, look at your own family. So you don't have to. We can dive into numbers if we want, but we black shit. I just
Yeah,
throw that
yeah,
out there because
but you would
this is
think though. I get that,
yeah.
So the media Mike Speaks was speaking, particularly about the study related to black men living longer who are married.
Okay.
But when you responded to it correctly, man, having friends that you can communicate with and that you can, confide in and that have your back, that's what prolongs your life. Especially as you reach older age.
Facts.
But having to do it all on your own, to not have anyone to turn to that you can trust, that's what fucking kills you. Stress kills, man. Looking at people and not seeing friends. And right now, man, I'm gonna do a show about this, man. Look, the amount of vitriol being exchanged back and forward between men and women now, man, is ridiculous, bruh.
It's bad, man.
It's not good at all. And look, what's the use of being in a relationship with somebody, man, if the relationship is set up in such a way that person really is actually your enemy? Think about it, man. Right now, many of these women become our enemies, man. I'm talking about your baby mama can become your enemy. Like, who the fuck wants to go through that shit, man? Like, who wants to go through a situation in which their wife is their enemy? Or, they don't want to see you doing well. Like, I've literally seen people, man, who don't want to see each other doing well, even in the context of a relationship. Why would you even enter into a relationship with someone else if you don't want to see them doing well, man? Think about that, bruh. Like today, man, I haven't talked about it, but I'm going to take the time to talk about this right now, right?
Okay.
So recently, there's been a backlash on Black Twitter against an old Destiny's Child song, Cater to You, right? You heard of that song, right? I'm going to cater to you. I'm going to make it your thing. You blow me away. Whatever. I mean, that song right there, right? So think, man, look, think about this, right? So there are people on Twitter who are having issues with men being catered to by their partners. But think about this. Why would you not want to cater to your fucking partner?
Right.
And vice versa. Who made it okay to say that, okay, I do not desire to see my male partner doing well. I'm not going to do anything special for him at all in any type of way. But I still demand that everything that men traditionally have ever done that he still do, but I'm not going to do a damn thing for him at all. Not going to cook for him. I'm not going to lionize him, respect him, make him feel special. None of that, because that's regressive. But that man better open the door. He better pay for the dates. He better pump the gas. He better mow the lawn. He better assemble the furniture. Make sure it's moved. If there's a bump in the night, he better go investigate it. But I'll be damned if I cater to that man and make him feel special. What in the fuck is going on with the minds of some people, man? They wouldn't even do that to their own friends. But then they still want to be in relationships.
Yeah, and then wonder why brothers looking around and creeping around. Shit, after a while, all humans can only take so much. I mean, like you say, if you have I think maybe you had a show on it, or Dr. Hassan, about emotionless,
emotionless marriages. Or sexless marriages. Yeah.
Sexless marriages, man. That affects your health. I I mean, we get hit from all sides, man. And
But
y'all
you know,
right on
hey, look,
on the
man,
money.
all that stuff, man, that's all that is power and control, man. You know, and look, if it started off to where y'all was intimate and y'all was getting it in, but now you can't get it in no more, cause you know you got an attitude, you got your ass on your shoulders. That means that you selfish, you egoistic, narcissistic, and egotistic. That's the way I perceive that, man. And look, I know men in this situation and they got like children and shit. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like you ain't got it in before, but now, okay, it's too much for you to bear right now, right? That's crazy to me, man. But this is the culture that we live in, man. You know? This is the culture that we live in, where everything is centered around the emotionality and the desire and the wants of one particular person within the context of the relationship. But I just look, I'm to the point, man. Like if my friends came over, it's the 4th of July. I'm gonna cook for them. You feel me?
That's right.
I'm gonna cater to them. I'm gonna make sure they got beers if they drink. I'm gonna make sure that they got trees if they smoke. I'm gonna make sure that they got a rib in their hand, a burger in their plate. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Make sure they're good.
I'm gonna make sure that they are good, man. Period. I'm gonna make sure that something is good, related to them coming to fuck with me. That's what friends want to see each other do well. And they want to see each other, feel blessed and feel like a part of something. You feel me? But nowadays, man, this shit has gotten out of hand, bro. I'm just keeping it 100, man. Things have just gotten out of hand. And, you can't even cater to your partner anymore. Like my advice to women like that, man, and don't engage in a relationship with anybody, man, of the opposite sex if that's how you feel. Just don't do it. I'm keeping it 100, man, because all you're gonna do is cause stress and pain and a whole bunch of malaise deeper down the road. And I ain't trying to be disrespectful, but if you don't want a relationship, don't get in one. It's just that simple. Patrick Patterson, what's going on, my brother, man? Huh?
Yo, what's happening, man?
What's going on, my brother? How you doing? Welcome to the Green Gorilla Show, man.
I appreciate you. I've been following you, man, and I can say you're doing a good job, brother.
Thank you, man. Appreciate that.
You are. And
I concur.
Yeah, he's on it. He's on it, doggone it. I have to give him credit. I concur with you, gentlemen. You were saying I've been on Mr. Palmer's show quite a bit, so we have a lot in common. But I'm just one of the few brothers who beat the child support system and everything twice. So,
okay.
Also the divorce thing too. So I won 100%. So I'm one of these unique brothers. You and I share a similar background. I'm in academia, but
shout out to you.
I try to talk to a lot of my colleagues about it. Some have never been married. Some have been married, divorced, no children, and we're all in our 50s. And I try to talk to them, saying, look, we gotta start checking up on each other. See how we're doing, especially the ones who are it's just them. And sometimes it falls on deaf ears, sometimes they kind of get it, but I'm like, look, we're getting older, y'all don't understand, because my dad's in his 70s and he's a Vietnam vet, and they got a little community around where he lives, and some of the people are married, some are not, but they all check up on each other, and they form some type of association where, he's the president, he got a vice president and all that, where they all check up on each other. A lot of them are veterans.
Man, that's awesome, bro.
And and I see stuff like this early, and I try to talk to a lot of my colleagues. I've been knowing for about 15 years, 20 years. I've been in academia, higher academia, and I've seen us grow together. And some have gotten married, some are divorced, some have never been married, some have children, some not. But I begin to see, the ones that have the stress at home, and then the ones who, just by themselves and traveling. And I said, look, if we plan on being around, we have to check up on each other to see how we're doing, because you talking, I don't know, 10, 15, 20 years, hey, you never know. And you gentlemen, are correct. And a lot of it's too is bad habits. I found, a lot of us are bad habits. I see a lot of my colleagues, and they can't put that sauce down sometimes,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I like, look, some of the things they eat too. I said, look, high blood pressure, cholesterol, all these type of things, diabetes, you got to
That's
get
because
yourself
it's
checked.
easy to go up to the Checkers up the street and get that Checkers #1, with cheese and
Yeah,
call it a
yeah,
day.
yeah. They
But
eat, and sometimes I tell them, I said, look, for those of us who are not married, and I have kids, so. But for those who don't, some of y'all might have to have surgery. I talked to them about that. I said, who's gonna take you home? Who's gonna take you there? Who's gonna pick you up? I said, these things y'all need to be thinking about because depending on what type of surgery you have, because some of my colleagues are not from where I'm in the Lone Star State. A lot of them not from here. They're from, other places like the Midwest, things like that. And I'm like, you have no family here. I said, so I'm just trying to create some type of coalition. Sometimes they listen, sometimes they don't. I said, okay. Then they come back later, you right. And I said, oh my gosh. Y'all kind of I said, but
Right.
it's kind of hard to get them to really come around, on some things. And some of them are in some messed up marriages, I can tell you. And it's what it is. That's what I'm saying. I've been there before. I got out early and I was like, because the stress will kill you. The stress will
Exactly.
age
Yeah.
you. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
you're
Yeah.
kind
But
of darned if you do it, darned if you don't, situation. If you
yeah,
stay, stress, you leave, there's going to be stress.
yeah. Well, a lot of them come to me for a lot of reasons because, by my situations I had. And I said, look, it all depends on how far you're willing to go, So I'm not going to give you any advice on anything that you may or may not want to do. So I sincerely think you think about this, I mean, and these are African-American Caucasian, and next thing old boy over there in an apartment, 1-bedroom apartment, the wife got the house and the kids, and these guys in academia, higher academia. And I try to check on them, said, look, we need to watch him because we don't know, you know, he's pretty much lost everything besides his livelihood. And
And you know what, man? That's the issue, man. That men are facing all across the board, and black men as well. They're not being spared this phenomena or this experience either.
true.
It's like, okay, you get into a relationship, you expect for the relationship to persist throughout time and for you to be treated nicely and caringly and lovingly within the context of the relationship. But then, women are the ones who primarily initiate these divorces, man. And so they're the ones who are often left, where the men are left holding the bag with responsibilities. They find themselves alienated from their children and alone
Yeah.
and wondering, why did this happen? And then, she's okay. She
Oh,
has
yeah.
a support system and a network, and
Mhm.
then, you don't have any. Because men always want to be alphas, like I'm run shit, right? So they don't associate with other men, and then what ends up happening is you end up having to bear that burden all by yourself.
Yeah, you're at the mercy of the system. You're at the mercy of everything and anybody. It's shameful, man. And we should not have brothers going down like that. And like you said, Patrick, these guys come from academia. These guys have excellent. I've been picked up guys, man. They was professors. I mean, sleeping under benches, man.
Yeah.
Going out like that, man. Yeah, nobody should go out like that. You know, but we get man, and we forget we let go of ourselves. And it shouldn't happen. It should not happen like this. Not in a first world nation. Should this amount of failure be happening to a particular group? And nothing be spoken, man. That's why I say whoever speak out on black men's rights or black men's I don't want to say suffrage, but you should be commended because there's no reward in it. Nothing.
No
There's no
reward at all,
reward in
man.
trying to save and help black men or boys. There's none. I know a lot of brothers that do a lot of things quietly. There's a lot of men being released from jails, man. During the Trump administration, a lot of brothers got released from jail. I'm in Louisiana, incarceration capital, man. Angola released a bunch of men. My uncle was released. He's 60 years old. We had to find him an apartment, a job at Goodwill. He got his own apartment. He got a roommate. He had some health issues, caught COVID, beat it, still got health issues. But that's what happens to his quality of life, man. And it's just not just him. It's tons of other guys. I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't dare use the number, but try to throw a number out there. But it's got to be a lot.
Hey man, I've seen strange things, man. I mean, people don't care about each other anymore, man. It's all about, people wanting to be right, people wanting to not have to relate to other individuals, to not sacrifice, people want the right to not give a shit about other people, man. That's the way I see it, bro. I'm just keeping it 100, man. People don't give a shit about each other, and they want the right to not give a shit about other people, man. They want to be able to hurt and harm other people, man. That's unfortunate as far as I'm concerned, but at the end of the day, man, the most important thing in life are relationships. And right now, we're foregoing relationships for the sake of what? I don't get it, man. I'm befuddled, man. I just don't understand people, man, and how they act and interact, man. We don't want stable relationships anymore, man. We don't, even friendships. We don't want them anymore. Everybody wants to go their own way.
Well, can I add something to the conversation?
Of course, man. And Shonda, you can come on if you want to. I'm about to get off in about 15 minutes, though. But yeah, come on in. Go ahead, She.
All right. When it comes down to relationships, you got to understand, men, we got to take this whole alpha and being the dominant one out of this. Because women, they have a whole system developed. If they want you to lead this man, if you want to lead this man, you got somebody to watch the kids. You got somebody to come over and help you through your sorrows, your pain. Nobody's doing that for dudes. You hit him with the man. I ain't dealing with him. He over in the week and his girl left him and he feel this type of way. I had a homeboy go through a situation like that. We clowned him a little bit, but we joked about it just to get him out of it, get him in good spirit. It wasn't no point in trying to drag him to the club or make him try to get another chick. Nah, man. When a dude in pain like that, you don't want to force him to, get back out there. Let him work himself through it. But the point of it is let him know some men are there for him. We want to shame this whole thing. I get on guys when I be hitting them with the Maxwell and they feel and stuff because I'm only speaking when you're logically talking with men. We more or less try to talk in facts. Try to get solutions. I don't want to hear a man say I feel as if he's trying to get emotional about something. No, I understand your emotions get involved. But don't get too emotional to where you're taking the logic out of the situation. I'm gonna let Chandra go. She came up.
Okay. Well, appreciate your contribution, She. Shonda, what's going on? How are you?
Good evening. How are you?
I'm doing okay. What's going on? Talk to us.
First, I want to thank you for allowing me to come up on your panel, and I also want to commend you for the great work that you're doing in the manosphere. I am a medical professional. I've been in the profession since 2003. So when I saw this topic pop up, I was just like, oh, wow. I was trying not to come on, but it's something that I'm passionate about, particularly since I am a daughter and I love Black men. Regards to the, and I'm going to try to keep it brief for the sake of time. In regards to why Black men don't go to the doctor, from what I can ascertain from my experience as a nurse practitioner, is there's lack of trust within the healthcare system. Of course, that was in the article that you shared, as well as various brothers have displayed that throughout the chat. And I know personally within my own life, my father encountered that, being from a disadvantaged background from Louisiana, and experiences that he had growing up, to where it was probably 20 plus years before he went to the doctor. It's encouragement of my mom and him that he actually went to get a checkup, and thank God that he did, because things showed up to where had he not, he would have had a massive heart attack and we would have lost him. That was in 2006. So for me as a medical professional, and I hope I'm getting the gentleman's name correct, my fellow Louisiana brother out in New Orleans, I believe it was Herb Saint. Individuals have rights. I strongly encourage all Black men, as all people in general, to get yourself checked out, because prevention is the first step in preventing disease. And I understand that there is a major lack of healthcare providers of all ethnicities in the healthcare system, but we can't advance if we're not healthy. And I don't believe that not knowing doesn't help. Because,
Right.
you know, what you don't know can kill you.
This is right. This is true.
I will say this, and I'm going to step back in regards to what I've seen just from practicing the amount of time that I have. A lot of the conditions that I see from the various patients that I've treated over the years and now are preventable, particularly in Black men and people in general. I see hypertension on a daily basis. That does not have to be. And I'm the type of provider, I'm not going to force anybody to do anything, but I am going to do my best to educate you on what your options are. And options don't automatically have to translate to medicine. We can treat high blood pressure without you having to take a pill. If you're concerned about, well, if I take this, my Johnson ain't going to act right, then we can modify that diet, exercise. And if it's a weight management issue, we can work on that. But I do encourage the brothers to get checked out. Try to find a healthcare provider that you can trust. And like someone previously stated, if they can't touch you, then you don't need to be with them. There are other ways as far as with the lack of access insurance. I always try to put out there is if you don't have insurance, there are a lot of 501(c) agencies that offer healthcare screenings, clinics, and things along that line within various parts of the country that you can just go and get labs checked. That makes a vital difference in between life and death. So,
well, can you get back to me on how I'm specifically interested in how, you know, men who are indigent and who are by themselves and who feel like they can't afford health care, how they can get access to it. Because, I mean, a lot of us like to front and act like we balling out of control, but a lot of us are going through some issues and some things, and then you can be on top of the world, and then you can go through a situation as a Black man, and then all of a sudden, your world gets turned upside down, and then you're looking for a way to make ends meet and, you know, try to balance your life again after it's been, you know, disrupted. And so, how do we get men that help? How do, you know, I'm interested in you coming back to me at some point, or, you know, if you could leave a comment in the, you know, in the video when it's over with for some resources, man, I'd appreciate it if you could help me do that.
I'll definitely do that. I will say that is, of course,
and Herb Saint as well too. Help me do that, bro.
I will say this briefly, if I may. Every place is different. I live in Texas, but I'm from Louisiana. So, of course, the systems are different there, just like versus West Coast and East Coast is different. What I would advise brothers to look into or have someone look into them for, look into for them if they don't want to pursue it themselves is look at your local county or parish. They always have options for the indigent populations, individuals that don't have health insurance, or you have people that have health insurance, but there's such a thing as being underinsured, to whereas what you have doesn't cover. So that's one, but I'll definitely look to get those resources to you.
Straight up. Thank you. I appreciate that. You know, you can only do it in the state that you're in, so I understand that. I get you. I understand. You can't help us out in all 50 states. I get you. Thank you, Shonda, for coming in and dropping some knowledge on us. Appreciate your contribution.
No problem. Keep up the great work.
Thank you. Thank you. Peace out. So, yeah, look, brothers, man, I'm glad, man. If any of y'all got some closing remarks, man, we can go ahead and get to those, man. And I appreciate y'all for coming out, man. So, my brother, Patrick Patterson, would you like to leave a overall comment, man, before we get up out of here?
Yeah, I just hope brothers get themselves checked out more. And I just thought of something. You know, I don't know if they're doing this or not, because I'm a veteran too. So I don't know. I would like to see, you know, for those individuals who, when they do get enrolled in some form of healthcare, and if it's their PPO, you know, or someone that, you know, how the dentist, you know, the dentist every 6 months, once you get on that, they contact you for your annual cleaning.
Right.
And I, you know, I don't know if they're doing this or not, but I think that was something the healthcare industry, I'm saying, should do. You know, every, I don't know, quarter or every year, they call you for your checkup. It's like a reminder. you need to come in, because them going in, on their own, I don't know. I think something like that maybe a good start to
Okay.
be on a list, something like that, to say, hey, just want you to come on. It's time for your checkup, see how you're doing, so that's all
Yes,
I have to say.
indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Well, thank you, my brother Patrick Patterson, for coming and dropping some knowledge on us, man. Appreciate that. She, we here. You got any closing remarks, man, you want to give out to the people here, man?
Yeah, that's like one of the biggest critical things, man. For a lot of men, you got to stay healthy as much as possible, and it starts the way you eat. You know, we can work out, we can go to the gym, we can do all these things, but what you're putting in your body is most destructive. And if you know you're not going to the doctor, understanding that, but you got to start eating a little more healthy, cutting back a lot on the processed food. You know what I'm saying? Start eating more vegetables. I ran across so many young men and older men that don't even really eat vegetables at all. And let's say you don't do that. They have vitamins and supplements that you can take. Just taking care of your health is the key. Your health is your wealth. A
Well,
lot of people, it's a cliche thing, but it's something serious.
a lot, but this is what happens, brother. Sometimes what happens is, especially men who go through divorces and, who are like cut off from their family. And this happens a lot to men. They start to take less interest in their health. And, they kind of go on a downward spiral. They binge drink in order to deal with the emotional pain. Because, of course, like you said, for some reason, black men feel that they don't have to feel pain. Or if they do feel it, they can bury it and submerge it. And you can't get fixated on it, but you have to go through the stages so that you can actually come out of it, right? And, a lot of black men find themselves alone, and then they stop taking care of themselves. And then they let things go downhill and they deteriorate. This is one of the reasons why, a lot of these diseases are preventable. So, yeah, you got to eat right. You have to exercise, even if it's just walking. You ain't got to go lift the gym in order to be healthy, man.
Yeah.
Sometimes just getting out and doing a brisk walk, drinking water, making sure you're getting your vitamins into you. Sometimes eat something green instead of something brown. It's just a matter, investing some time into your body the same way that you invest into other people sometimes. So there's nothing wrong with investing in yourself. Nothing. So yeah. So
I just want to say something real quick. It's like basically with that too, I'm going back to what I said about my friend. You got to have a good network of friends, man. One of my friends went through something. I actually called this guy every day. I called him so much. The mother, everybody was like, "What's wrong? Why you call this man all the time?" They can say anything they want to say, but because this man, me and him had talks, and he's alive and he did what he did because it was the support that I was giving to him. Most guys will look at it, oh man, you being this way, you being that way. I didn't care what nobody think, because at the end of the day, as a brother, I'm here for you. We're gonna work this out together. We're gonna go through this. Like I said, this is a friend. I treat him more like my brother. We're gonna go through the struggle together. We're gonna work on it. You got guys going through cancer, any kind of little illness by themselves. It get rough doing it on your own. It's good when you have some support with you. And a lot of brothers got to start understanding that. We got to be here for one another to help each other. You start getting on your boy about eating right. You start doing this. Gold Professor have a 9 laws of self-government where he always talk about rule number 1 is discipline. You got to have discipline to do anything in life. If you don't have that discipline, that's where it starts and that's where it begins. I mean, that's where it ends. That's all I got to say.
thank you so much, She, man. You're always welcome here. Patrick Patterson, you're always welcome. Herb Saint, you're always welcome. Shonda, you're always welcome as well. You're very respectful. Appreciate your input and your contribution, man, and all of y'all. So, at any rate, and thank you, Marvin, for your donation and so many others. Oftentimes, man, I forget, man. I don't look at my phone and I don't pay attention to people who've made donations on the Cash App, but I appreciate each and every one of your contributions, man. I really and truly do. But we're going to wrap this up, man. I'll be back tomorrow. And tomorrow I might be a little animated, and I want to kind of recount my steps and to talk more elaborately about this idea that, men don't deserve to be treated well in the context of relationships, man. It's like, okay, well, I don't need to cater to you. I just find it hard to believe, man, that anybody would, even engage in a relationship to begin with the idea that the person that they're entering into the relationship with doesn't need to be nurtured and cared for and treated with respect and catered to. I just don't understand it. Why even engage in a relationship to begin with? But that is what I think. So, and anyway, I'll holler at y'all later, man. Thank you so much for dropping by and checking out the GG show, man, today, man.
All right,
It's
appreciate
June
it, brother.
10th, man.
Appreciate
So,
it.
all right, man. Holler at y'all later, man. So, at any rate, man, we out this thing. Until next time. Peace.